Alright folks, welcome back to Ole's Fishing School, and for this segment of Ole's Fishing School we're going to turn you all into bait masters here. We have 3 different sections. We're going to show you the proper way to cut your bait, the proper way to rig your bait, and the third thing which we're going to show you is the proper roll for your herring alongside your boat before we start fishing. So let's start with the bait cutting itself. What you want to do is grab yourself a herring out of your cooler, grab your knife out of your knife holder here, and first thing we're going to do is going to make the cut. Best way to do that is to landmark first of all. Find yourself the pectoral fin in your herring. Take that and line your knife right about the halfway mark along the pectoral fin. And once you get that, you want to give it a 45-degree tilt of your knife, just like so. And then another 45-degree bevel, just like that. Once you have those 2 angles all worked out, you need to cut her straight through, like so. And that's your cut. Don't need the head, you can toss that overboard. And once you have your herring cut, you want to go ahead and stick the bait knife right into the center of the cavity there. Give her a few twirls around. Just going to get all the guts out. So there you go. 4 or 5 turns usually does it. It's nice and clean. There's your cut. And there's your nice de-gutted herring. So you got your herring. What you want to do next is give it a V-cut. So near the back of the herring. And what this is going to do is provide a vent and allow for water to pass through as it's rolling through the water. And you know you've got yourself a good herring when you can just go and whistle right into your herring, just like that. Alright, so that's how your cut looks. Just for reference sake, we're going to use this side of the herring. We're going to call that the high side of the herring, and this side of the herring is the low side of the herring. Go ahead and grab yourself your leader, which is just your fancy word for your hooks at the bottom of your rigging on your fishing rod. So this is your trail hook on your leader, and this is your tow hook. And you always start with the trail hook first. That's going to go in on the low side of the herring, on one side of the backbone, go through the herring, and come out on the high side, just like that. You're going to pull the trail hook through, grab your tow hook, and that's going to follow the exact same hole. In on the low side, out on the high side. Notice how the hook's coming out right about along the lateral line, which is right here along the herring. Right when the herring goes from silver to dark color, that's right about where you want the hooks. So once you have your tow hook in, as you can see, that's going to be one that's towing your herring along in the water. The back hook is going to be your trail hook. This is one that's going to be catching the majority of the fish. We want to put the trail hook in near the tail of the fish. So when you set the hooks, the trail hook will set into the fish's mouth. So grab your trail hook, pull the line so it's taut, so you have no more slack in the line. That's when you know where you want to put the hook in. Take the point of the hook, put it in just enough so it's breaking the skin. Don't want to go through the backbone of the herring. That's very important not to do that. So in just enough skin. Then you're going to pull the hook back through, and it's going to come out like that. Very important when you're putting the hooks in, I'll show that one more time, it's a key step. Very important when you're putting the hook in, the trail hook, that it's pointing back towards the tail when it goes in. That way when it comes out, it'll be facing frontwards. It's the best way to catch more fish. Once you have the hook in like that, what we want to do is called hiding the eye. We're going to pull the eye in through to the herring like that. Now you could leave it like that, and that would work just fine. Here at Ole's, we like to spice it up a little bit, and we kink the tail like this, and then sink the eye back through the backbone of the herring, just like that. And you'll see how that looks. You can actually see the eye of my hook actually pushing through to the skin on the other side. So when we sunk it through, it went through this angle. It's sitting right there. By going through the backbone like that, what you're doing is allowing the crease of the herring to set in like that, and that will actually stay for quite a long time while you're trolling the bait, and it'll add a little bit of loop to your roll that can entice more strikes from big fish. So that's the way your herring is all set up like that. Make sure that when you're setting it up, when you're hooking your herring up, you try and not to knock too many scales off, because these scales act as tiny little mirrors reflecting the sunlight back to the salmon, and salmon feed by sight, and more scales you have on your herring, the better. No scales on your hooks. Nice and clean, and there you go. There's your cut plug herring ready to go. What we want to do is grab one on the top of our rig here. This is called our Slido setup. We have right here on our snap swivel, the weight just clips in just like that and snaps on like so. That's all set up and good to go. Go ahead and grab your weight with the side of your boat. Yes. Grab your herring, and we're going to test to make sure it's rolling in the water nicely. Go ahead and place your bait in the water nicely like this. Get your partner to put the boat into gear, slowest possible speed that you can go, and hold the weight out the side of your boat and see how it's rolling. So right there, you have a nice spin.